Good morning. Today is the 10th of August. This is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes day by day. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I'm going to be looking into switching some software. Just because the one that I've been using for, I don't know, a long time is, I found out watching another streamer, another guy that I've been watching for a little bit, doing some other stuff. He was talking about some stuff, and he mentioned another piece of software. So I'm going to try that out because it's going to cost me basically a fraction of what this does. Maybe we'll be able to do some other stuff, and we'll just have to see how that works out. But for now, we're just moving along with what we've got because I really can't dig into it yet. But I think I've alluded to it here in a few weeks. We're going to be able to do a little bit more robust stuff, or at least that's my hope. I don't know what the reality is because obviously we're not there yet, and obviously I don't know how everything's going to end up working out. But yeah, anyway, yesterday was I meant to get this out last night. I sat down, started doing the accounts. Could only get through three of the accounts. Why? Because I had to do raids on all of the account, and I had to do TB on all the account. Now I had to do Hoth, and I had to do like multiple battles in Hoth on the free to plays. And so they ended up taking like, I don't know, 45 minutes an hour each to get through it, through the accounts. And usually I can do this, if I don't have really anything to talk about, it's really fast. If I do have stuff to talk about, it's about 20 minutes, maybe 30 max. But just having to do with the raids, and, I did the commentary for the free-to-play, and I got done with the free-to-play stuff for the video last night, and then I still had to do all this other stuff, and I was like, But anyway, hey, we got two more. We're going to be done with Scout Trooper here momentarily, my friends, within a week, and that's good. But I'm not worried about that. We're still working on Lobot, and then we still have Boosh, and then we still have Captain Drogon to get through. The big question is, does any of that matter? That's the big question. Is how much closer are we going to be able to get anytime soon? And obviously we're trying to use our raid reward to the best of our abilities. We're not trying to waste anything. Hopefully we don't have some, because I haven't played Conquest in a few days because life. Just like these videos, life isn't life. Life happens. Yeah, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I don't have the time. Don't have the time to even go through and upload because I have so much other stuff going on. Anyway, yesterday and I have another raid to do here. I have a day and 6 hours to do it. Plus I have rote to do, so that's fun. What do we have going on yesterday? We had not a whole lot in the morning. Had four kids yesterday because the former foster son came over. Then we had an event in the evening where we went downtown, and they were giving out, some of the churches were giving out school supplies for free. And so that was a 2-hour event, and they had this little scavenger hunt where you had to go around and hit all these, like the first responders, and then the haircut people, I don't know. And my wife was trying to get them to do that before the 8 o'clock hour, because if we didn't have it in on time, then we had to stay for another hour to be eligible for the drawing. And we're like, or we could just go home. And we had been there for 2 hours. We had talked to people. We had seen things, and it was our first time, because kids are going to kindergarten, so it's the first time we didn't know what to expect. But we were there, and it was a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know how to explain it other than that. But it was a good day. It was a good interesting event. Not terrible at all. It would have been better if my it's a funny thing. So I don't really have a lot of hip pain right now. I have the pain that I am having related to this is in the top of my foot, or somewhere along there, and it's like, it's not hip pain, but it's still enough where you're like, okay, where's the seat? How soon can I sit down? This type of thing. Which is why I made sure I was pushing the baby around for most of the time, because at least I had something to take a little bit of tension off of my foot. Which doesn't sound like it helps, but it does, I promise. But yeah, I had intentions of being up here and doing a lot of this stuff for most of the day, and then I sat down, and my wife was outside with the kids, and then she messaged me, and she's like, "I'm so over the screaming," and it's like, and I'm sitting here, I'm like thinking, this is what I deal with every day, and you've been out there for like 30 minutes. And you can't deal. And for those of you who don't understand, it's just that my kids are in this phase of life where they scream about everything because they're excited about everything. And she got out of the pool. She's like, clean up the pool so I can put water in. And so they did. And so you know what kids do? They complicate things and all this other stuff, and it was fine. It was a pool, and they were excited, and so they were screaming and yelling, and my wife didn't appreciate that, which I get it. But also, every time she says that, I have to laugh, because at one point, she went to school to be a nanny. And for some of you, a lot of you are like, that's a thing? You can go to school to be a nanny? Yeah. And she actually worked as one for quite a while when we first got married. And I don't know. At some point, you just get tired of hearing certain sounds because you hear them so often, and because you're in the grocery store and you hear kids crying, and you hear a sound pretty much associated with that, and so it triggers a response every time you hear another sound associated with that. And it's like, oh, there's and I admit there's a lot of sound in this house now that I've heard for a number of years, and I'm just like, can I not hear that sound because it's like too much? and it starts to grate on you because your brain has matured, your brain has changed, and so there are some, as you get older, there are certain sounds that just sort of grate on you and it's a difficult thing to get past. But my wife was just like, enough, and so I had to come out and sit with them for a little bit. And then my kids have a weird thing that they do where basically, what is going on? Whenever I come around, whenever I do that type of stuff, like whenever I come out and sit down, they will immediately migrate to wherever my wife is. And so she will get annoyed by that. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I came out here to sit down, did my thing, came out here to sit down and, watching the kids, make sure they stay out of trouble. I'm trying to keep them over here, and they just don't want to do it. And she's like, well, I'm annoyed. I'm like, okay. But they did end up coming back over to me for a little bit so she could figure out what she was doing. Because she ended up putting together an umbrella for our deck, which is nice. And maybe I'll end up taking advantage of that later. I don't know. But we'll have to see. But yeah, it was an interesting day. Not too bad. We could finish. Scout Trooper right now. But it's like, got a couple of days, we'll knock him out, it'll be fine. What I'd love to do is finish the Pun 1 or this, because I don't have the Pun 1 on this account. I choose to do other stuff, and then I'm like, yeah, we'll come into the Pun 1 eventually, and there's jails you want to do, and this is fundamental, and this is another reason why I'm like, I don't need a jail, because if I had a jail, then there's a number of other things I could have chased, like the Pun 1, like other teams, but we'll be done with Leia soon enough, I think. And we'll go from there. And that'll be okay. I do not understand what's going on with this thing where we have this 4-second lag. It's like for me it's as annoying as those sounds I was talking about. It's just like, sure, I have an extra however many seconds just laying around to be able to wait for this. It's not annoying at all. Except that it is on every level. It's super annoying. Anyway, I think we got through everything. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Otherwise, God bless, and hold the line, and remember that I have friends everywhere. Bye.